Okay, let's talk about focus strategies as well as integrated cost leadership and differentiated strategies. So first of all, focus strategies are really where we're talking about using our core competencies to serve the needs of a particular customer group in an industry. In other words, firms can focus on this specific smaller segments or niches of customers rather than across the whole market. And we can differentiate markets segments by a variety of things, like a particular buyer group. I want to focus on youth or senior citizens. I want to focus on a different type of product line for professionals versus do-it-yourselfers, as an example, or different geographic markets. We know there are different behaviors in different parts of the country. Firms can choose to follow a focus strategy because they can serve a narrow segment more effectively than competitors that choose to go kind of this broader swath. And narrow segments needs can be so special that industry-wide competitors might not want to meet them. They might need different product offerings that don't meet the need of, that is different than when we're going to try to provide offerings to everyone. So those are all things to consider when we're looking at focus strategies. So there are two types of focus strategies. They are focused cost leadership strategy and focused differentiation strategy. To implement that, we have to really look at what our activities, what our core competencies are in a competitive manner. So in order to develop competitive advantage, we need to make sure we can meet the needs of the customers that we've decided to meet. And so factors that drive those strategies include things like, are there small niches that nobody else is meeting? With Spicy Guys, one of the things I got asked, and maybe should have gone this direction, was to really create extremely hot, spicy pretzels to meet the need of that smaller niche of people who really crave extremely hot, spicy foods. That would have been a very different approach. That would have been a very different strategy for me to have within my business. Also, we could say that firms can lack resources needed to compete in that broader market. Firms may be able to serve a narrow market segment more effectively than if we go kind of across the whole broader industry. But focus allows firms to direct their resources to very specific activities in their value chain to build a competitive advantage. So there's a lot of reasons that we could choose to be in a focused strategy. A focusing firm could be out-focused by its competitors. When we're so narrowly focused, we have to be careful that we still know what's going on in the industry. A large competitor could come in and decide to take over that niche market and have resources that a small company doesn't have. As well, customer preferences in a niche could change quickly if the same or similar thing is available in a broader space, especially if it's low cost or they see less value. So focus strategy is how do we serve this particular segment of customers? That's what we're talking about. And I think we already kind of talked about this. We can do it by dividing the market differently through technology or geographic or products or buyer groups. A little bit repetitive there. And so I'm going to go on to talk about integrated cost leadership now. This is it can be a little bit more confusing when we think of this hybrid strategy. So what we're talking about here is the hybrid strategy may become even more important as global awareness changes. Sorry about that. Compared to firms relying on a single strategy, these firms integrate kind of generic strategies that position themselves to improve their ability to adapt quickly. So think of this as what I have within my organization is a ability to adapt and be flexible and change quickly. And so I have space in my costs to talk about cost leadership or to approach a low cost strategy. I also have access to technologies or groups that allow me to provide a niche market as well. So it's really a unique positioning place that we talk about. And we talk about being able to meet these needs in 3 ways. Actually implement this strategy through flexible manufacturing, information networks, and then TQM systems. So what that means is I can apply a flexible manufacturing system, which is computer code processing, in order to eliminate this low cost versus wide product variety. So I've seen this in printing, where we went from the old days of printing and then personalizing a mail piece. Then we started seeing where we could inline, because technology changed it. I can now produce the even I could change, if I was going to produce 1,000 mail pieces, I could even change the picture on it inline as it prints, so that Tammy Ogren receives a piece that might show a woman in a classroom that is different than someone else might receive that connects to them. So that the actual connection and production process can actually change in order to provide us flexibility. Information networks, really the way that we can connect, we see lots of CRMs and lots of production of networking systems that allow us to ship faster, meet customer expectations, know what they are quicker, improve the workflow of employees so that we can be more flexible. And then TQM is the idea of total quality management. You talk about this in a production operations course. We're talking about how to get commitment to the customer through continuous improvement. The idea that we're constantly improving and measuring and tweaking and remeasuring our internal processes in order to provide a stronger output to customers. So the risks also are complicated. It creates more ability to manage many things and not just get stuck in one of those areas. And how to develop that in a way that is effective, efficient, and reaching the right people. So that's the end of the conversation on focus strategy and integrated cost leadership strategy. So I will see you in a moment.